Here we're looking at a slider control that's based on dates and filters a list box, a list control based on those dates. I think part of the issue with basing this stuff on dates is that dates are generally just horrible to work with. At least I always find them to be a little challenging. And throw JavaScript into the mix, and they get a little more interesting. So at any rate, here we've got a slider control, and it's got a min and max value, which is a date, and so number of dates in between those values. And I've set a default value for a range in here as well. And then we take those the dates that we're looking at that the slider has defined as the values, the range values, and we put them into some text box date controls here, and then the list control gets filtered on this date range. So we can see if we move it all the way to the back. That's our very first date that I defined. And this is coming from a SQL table, so a minimum SQL date value of the 12th of December. And you could see our list control was filtered, and then we move it all the way out to the 17th, which is my maximum date. And this is all based on a table here. So we see the 12th and the 17th, and the minimum and maximum dates. And everything else, moves and filters appropriately. So let's go and have a look to see how we accomplish this. I think what we'll do first is move into the server side. So we're opening up a table. We grab our min and max dates. That's fine. And here's the first issue that I ran into. And it could just be me, but I couldn't get this to behaving the other way. No matter what I did with this data coming in, I could not get it to format as anything other than day, month, year. Well, that's not what the UX control has defined as property for its default date stuff. It's got a date format of month, day, year. So that's what we're going to be dealing with at the end of the day. And I couldn't get it to format. As you can see, I used a lot of functions in here, and I couldn't get it to do that for me. So I'm just passing it in as day, month, year into JavaScript as an array, as a pointer array in here. So what we'll do is turn on debug, and we'll just go through this. So we'll just step through it. The selection's okay, all that's good. We set up our stuff. And it doesn't seem to matter whether I dimension these as dates or as character. So we'll just grab these two values and then we'll display them. So 12 of 12, so that's, you can't really tell what's going on in there, but there we have the 17th of February 2014, so obviously day, month, year. And we assign that to our array. That's great. Var2JSON, and then that's what we're passing through into our dialog object namespace variable. So we see the 12th of the 12th and the 17th of the 2nd. And we'll just run that. So that's good. We'll close down the debugger. And let's go back into, so that gets passed through. Now on the client side, on render complete, grabs all this. And that's great. So now we've got to start messing around with our dates because they're in a format that we can't use them. So we do a substring on the incoming dates. So we've got dialog object coming in. We assign it to a variable a. And a.min, a.max. That's what we're dealing with. So we just do a substring. So that's going to be day, month, year. We're just picking it off, and max, day, month, year. And then we're putting together into a month, day, year format. And then we're assigning it to the min and max values of the slider control. We go and get that control, and then we assign it to the min and max values of that slider control, and then we go ahead and we refresh our list. And on the control side, Here we have, this is an interesting part of the control, so I'm going to have to find out more about this. The control seems to be for default value. So that's the value that's going to show up. We've specified that we've got, where is it? That's our slider. Two value, sorry, there it is. We've decided we're going to have a two value control, but it's pushing out my default value. I'm off by 2 days on each, the minimum and the maximum value. So I've just put in default value 2 days less than what I really want it to be. Here we set a minimum and maximum date value, which is the min and max of the slider bar itself, but I'm overriding that in the JavaScript for the on render complete event. So that doesn't matter. That's just kind of a default, but I'm overriding that. But this does matter, this default value. I'm setting that up because that's where the two slider controls are going to sit. Slider message doesn't make any difference. On change event, well, I'll just show you that anyway. So that's going to be our value start and our value end, and that's set by this default value right here. Then on the on change event, we grab this, we grab our dates. Now we're pushing out these dates to our text box, our text boxes, but these this e dot value that comes in as a full date, like Wednesday, February the 2nd, all spelled out. So we've got to tame those dates as well. So now you can see why I say that this, dates are just like horrible to deal with. So we grab the full year, we grab the month, we grab the date. Of course, we want them zero based as well, so not zero based, but zero filled. So we have to do that, and then we put them back together again. I'm always pulling apart and putting back together dates. So we do that for min, we do that for max, and then we just set the two values for our text boxes there, and we go ahead and we refresh our list data. And that's whenever a value or slider, whenever we change our slider, that's what happens. And I think that's all there is to this. So once again, we'll go and get our SQL min and max dates. Run that. Better take that out. We're not getting our dates coming out. Now all this happens a bit too fast for everything. So on the client side, I've actually got to time it out a little bit. There we go. So once again, remember I set those 2 dates as 2 days before, and now I'm getting out the values that I really want. I want the 1st of the January the 14th and February the 10th, whereas in design I've got them set at 12/30/2013. So again, I'm going to have to find out about that. We're just going to run this again. Yeah, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. I think it's a timing thing. I'm not really sure. Here we are. We can extend that a little bit. I'll have to find out about that too, but this is the general theory. This is how it should work anyway. And then we filter. These dates get updated appropriately. And that's it. So I hope that helps. Thanks for watching.